your vote.
Told us our baby would never survive. And if I didn't get an abortion, it would put a future pregnancy at risk. But Trump didn't care. And because of his abortion bans, I had to flee my home. There's nothing pro-family about abortion bans. There's nothing pro-life about letting women suffer and even die. Today, because I found a way to access abortion care, I am pregnant again. Thank you. And my baby is due in January, just in time to see Kamala Harris sworn in as President of the United States.
Mr. Secretary, my name is Gilberto Hinojosa, chair of the Texas Democratic Party, and of the nation's biggest battleground state with 40 electoral votes on behalf of 30 million Americans. Texas cast 3 votes for president and 263 votes for freedom, for the future, for the first woman to serve as the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Utah, how do you cast your vote?
Utah, home of 8 tribal nations, the crossroads of the West, the Beehive State, the host of the 2034 Winter Olympics.
We don't give a damn. Hey, y'all, Gravity, any evening above ground, live it. That's a hell of a way to start the show off. A woman smiling about abortion. All right, we cooked. Anyway, how was your day? I'm sure your day was fantastic. Mine was fantastic. I had an easy day at work. So there's that. Yeah, there's that. Of course they did. Of course they had to play, you know, they had to play Snoop. Uh-huh. The great state of California passes. You passed. Huh? You passed. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. You passed. Oh, okay. Say less. You might not be sure, huh? All right. Yeah, that's not a black girl, but all right. We got to talk about this, family. Yes, we're going to talk about this while we're waiting for the show to start, because you know we're here for scumbag Obama. Oh, we gonna call it out. Oh, look, Candace Owens people. Look, it's Candace Owens people. Oh, here come Haiti.
And committed to person to vote for the next president of the United States. All 13 votes to vote the
to send the Western United States Secretary. We are proud to call the Virgin Islands of the United States our home, a place of resistance and freedom, home of Alexander Hamilton, the first slave rebellion in the Western Hemisphere, the Firebird Queens. We are proud to celebrate a nominee of Caribbean heritage.
From America's Caribbean, the place where the sun rises first in America, from the place of great liberty and the vacation home of President Joe Biden, the Virgin Islanders are strong, resilient, and committed and passionate to vote for the next President of the United States. All 13 votes to Kamala Harris!
Where's the Junkanoo dancers?
Who build freedom by building aircraft carriers and submarines. Senator Warner.
Virginia, for this year, we're going to return Tim Kaine to the United States Senate. Our Commonwealth of Virginia is proud to cast all 119 votes for the next President, Kamala Harris.
Seriously, this is the music we're playing? Oh, Jesus. Okay. So we did this DJ. So y'all just, all right. You know what? You got to give the DNC credit. At least they broke the bank and went and got instrumentals. Lord have mercy. How she sound?
In origins of Eastern Washington.
The Blueberry Muffin. Shout out to you, beloved. You got some explaining to do. What is going on? What is that? All right. I want to show y'all this. Now, this is from Savannah Hernandez. That she's a fucking racist, but you know, we're gonna use her video. They say that they had 25 abortions so far. Well, those are Latinos.
The rights.
There goes a black woman.
Increase the zone where the journalists could work and set the seats back a little further, and then everyone would
like you gotta be a special kind of a-hole to go into a goddamn truck to go do an abortion. Y'all didn't even say y'all going into a goddamn hospital. Like, I get it if you pissed off at hospitals, but at least go to a clinic. You went into a truck. What that motherfucker? Never mind. What if they doing the procedure? Never mind. I'm not even gonna do that to the babies. I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't even in the vortex yet. I'm be respectful to the babies. What? But we gotta talk about this here. Clyburn went on MSNBC, and Clyburn said people are looking at Joe Biden the way they look at Martin Luther King. What? Marcel, you gotta take this motherfucker down. I'm sorry. This dude got to go. He said this shit. Loud and proud. Loud and proud. Nasty work.
Yo, look at the coons.
Wow. Like, how you say that? Like, come on, bro. Like, I tell you, we've told you in the past, family, they do not like MLK, especially when we started talking about that reparations speech. They didn't like it. All right. I'm putting up a poll in the live chat. It's not about Clyburn. But how was y'all's day? I really just want to hear them. I could care less about everybody else. I just want to hear them. I just want to see what they're going to foist off on people this time. Oh, Lord. Look.
We're home of the Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, good God. Everybody's playing beats. I can't even, I don't, all right. I got flagged yesterday for that. I hope y'all know that. Of all the I don't care if there's 11 people in here. Hit the like. Don P said your day was coon free. Let's fix that. And we fix that for you. We gonna fix that for you. Woo! All right. They still talking.
And our next president.
Oh my God. Look at this black woman. Bruh, look at this black woman over here. What are you looking so starry-eyed at? Lord. You know what we're gonna do? Screenshot.
Kamala Harris.
Oh my God.
Mr. Secretary, delegates,
it's Bubba the Love Sponge.
My name's Joe Barbudo, and these folks around me, we are honored to be representing the great state of Wyoming. Both the first state and territory in this nation to recognize a woman's right to vote, and the state that 100 years ago elected Democrat Nellie Taylor Ross, our nation's first female governor. With that legacy in mind and heart, the Equality State cast all of our votes for the woman who will be the first woman president of the United States. Say it with me now, Kamala Harris!
You're a Bubba Love Sponge. Oh, Lord.
The great state of Minnesota. How do you cast your vote?
Hello, Minnesota!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn, y'all suck. Y'all have no fun. All right. Oh, your girl went outside. What did I tell y'all yesterday, family? We might as well do that while we're waiting. What did I tell y'all yesterday about your girl? I mean, not yesterday. What did I tell y'all Saturday about your girl? Didn't I tell you she was going to go on her show and claim victim? Didn't I tell y'all that? Huh? Yeah, we told you that. Yeah, yesterday she went on her show. Yes, she did. And had the nerve, because that's what she does. She had the nerve to make it seem like she was a victim. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. I saw the clip today. It was wild. Let me see. Let me see if we can find it here. They keep saying that she is she broke the internet and nobody didn't. Okay. Let me see. This is from today. We might as well play this first because this was funny.
They had an election and their incumbent president, Nicolas Maduro. We all know who Nicolas Maduro is. And my suspicion is he's actually about to be killed. And I'll tell you why they're calling it electoral scam. First among them, Milei in Argentina. Now, I want to be very clear. I don't trust anything that crawls out of Argentina with blue eyes. There's a reason for that.
What? This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Because she gonna go on that notion that, you know, the the Izans who ran away after World War II. We all know they went to Chile and Argentina, but you don't trust anybody with blue eyes. That comes out of Argentina. Okay, let's have fun with this. Go ahead. Is she going to be xenophobic? Let's go.
And that reason is because after World War II, a lot of Argentinians suddenly had blue eyes. And so I do not trust Milei. Maduro responded to Milei by calling him a cowardly bug and a traitor to the homeland and a fascist. Now, the fascist part might be true. I don't know. I got to see his genealogy because I just don't trust anything with blue eyes that comes from Argentina. That's all I'm saying. Here's the thing. Maduro has now spoken out, and he's pretty convinced that this is a coup. And, you know, there might have been some earlier suggestions that they were, and by they, I mean the CIA and the global elite were planning a coup. America, we don't do anything that's corrupt. Okay, now there have been a few times we've done some things that are corrupt. And yeah, it turns out that Nicolas Maduro has noticed some of those things. So he gave a speech yesterday. I'm going to read to you what he said while showing you a clip of this speech. Maduro said, "The North Americans put a smile on their face, diplomatic face of deception, but behind they carry a dagger. And if you believe their smile, if you get careless, they turn around and stab you." John F. Kennedy, who killed him? The system proven. We recently condemned the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. And there are a lot of questions from those who were protecting Donald Trump. Why do they allow that shooter to stand there? There are many doubts that have been expressed in the U.S. Now they are trying to cover that up so that empire accustomed to violence, to coups, prepared a scenario against Venezuela. I am not an apologist for Maduro. Honestly, all of these leaders are corrupt around the world, but he's speaking some truth.
He's not Argentinian, so it's okay. His wife. No commercial break tonight. We can go get one. Let me see what they're talking about over there on that DNC. Are they still doing it? Oh, California skip. Did they finally give out their who that is? Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe they were waiting for old oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Let's go find us a commercial break. Let's go do that. Let me see something. I can't spell tonight. Jesus. I really can't spell. Let's see. God damn you. Let me see. Where can we go? I think we found our break. I cussed somebody out today because they brought to us Thomas Sowell again. Now, it's just funny that a year ago he said this on Fox News. This is why the left only focuses on race. I think he'd be pissed off at what he's seen the right do. But let me see what this is. I don't trust this dude Signify B-sides because he be flip-flopping. But let me see. Let me see something.
Oh, Thomas Sowell is the blueprint for this shit. I cannot wait to get to a video I can talk about Thomas Sowell. Oh my God, Thomas Sowell. Oh my God, I'm so tired of here. I'm so tired. Thomas Sowell. All this conservative black people shit. It's the same argument. It's like I'm gonna talk about it in the Black Manosphere video. But and if you watch my little Julesy video, the two Julesy videos I did on this B-Sides channel, all these black now Gen Xers, boomers, and some of the millennials that are on this conservative shit are coming with the same argument. If black people just got their act together, there wouldn't be any more racism. We would have all the things we need. And that's not true. And that's been so clear. That's been clear. That's so well researched. That's so well documented historically. Like, first and foremost, black people built communities in the image of Americana, in the image of capitalism. Black people built communities where they had shops and they had banks and they had all the things that have all the things they're supposed to have, pick themselves up from their bootstraps historically for over a century and all across America. And what happened? White terrorism burned that shit down every time. Every time. And it's not just Tulsa. Like if you go and you research black race riots, every time, like literally, if not 100%, a huge percentage of black wealthy communities over 100-year period plus were burned and bombed by white terrorist mobs. That's number one to that whole bootstraps bullshit. Literally burned to the ground. So that's number one. So that happens consistently till about the 60s. Finally, like the reason why Atlanta has money, if you look at the history of Atlanta, people be like, yo, Atlanta got money, like go to Atlanta. Like people think of Atlanta, they think of black money, which is true. There's a lot of black money here, and it's black old money. The reason why Atlanta is so unique in America is because Atlanta was such a valuable, what's the word I'm looking for? Trade post for the entire country, because it had all these railroads that went through the entire nation that crossed in Atlanta, right? So the Union armies stayed in Atlanta for an extra like 30 years. And when the Union armies were there, guess what couldn't happen? White conservative mobs couldn't so easily blow up black commerce. They couldn't. And because of that, over time, black wealth was able to build up in Atlanta. There's still other issues, because like somebody said in the chat, we're not going to LLC ourselves to liberation. So if you come to Atlanta, you'll see a lot of black money. And it's still niggas in the hood. It's still, the police still shot a dude and didn't go to jail. Not going to burgeon and have money and have success. They literally tore those communities down and built highways through them, destroying the foundation of black.
All right. So he just ran, but you know, it's still F. Thomas Sowell. Y'all want to see something I just saw? I think y'all gonna enjoy this. Hogan came back outside and was being his old racist self again. Breaking news. We got to play this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Now he was in Ohio promoting his line of beer, and he got to talking about Command Me. So let's see what he said.
You're supposed to say what? Okay. You guys need a cocktail? Need some crazy ladies? Need some muscles? Need some money? You need one beer? You need two beer? You need three beers? You need 4 beers? 5 beers? I got a pina colada, a Trader Vicks with a Werewolf London. His hair was perfect. You want to get crazy? You want me to throw more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? You want me to drop the leg on Kamala? Is Kamala a chameleon? Is she Indian? Okay, I like it. Ow.
AAPI, this is your problem. This is your problem. Ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all go handle that. Let's see who's talking. Well. Look who's talking.
Do any of those things sound familiar?
Sound familiar?
Is there anybody running for president who reminds you of that?
Oh, Lord.
And I know one thing, it's not Kamala Harris. That is not the America we love. God. It's not the land of freedom we treasure. Last night, we heard President Biden say that he loves his job, but he loves his country more. Every American needs to love our country more. Every American has the duty to put our country first. Country first before party. Country first before political ambition. Country first before habit. And in this election, putting country first means one thing and one thing only: voting for Kamala Harris.
Sure, whatever.
And that is what this night is about. That is what we're going to talk about tonight. So you know what? Let's get it started. Let's get this fiesta going.
Fiesta.
The ayes are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed. and the concurrent resolution as amended is adopted.
Okay.
The Vice President votes in the affirmative.
I don't give a damn. We're gonna go look at some real shit. There we go.
People, I interviewed black men and black women across the country. See, Phil, the problem we have here is one of behavior, interpretation, and definition. 99% of the black men say my book is true. We can't dismiss that, no matter what we think about it.
Well, I don't see.
The poll that I've taken out of my book.
Well, I don't see where the fact of where she got the information has anything to do with the validity in the statement. And what I hear constantly is, where do you get your data? Is the information incorrect? If it's incorrect, then I think then you need to examine where it came from. But if it's not,
Sounds
then
like
why?
you agree with the book.
Well, I do agree with a lot of the statements made in the book.
And
but
Navarro, by
what
the
I'm
way,
addressing
Tori.
now is what she said.
You're upset at the challenge to her authority.
Well, I mean, I don't see where the question has any importance to what's going on.
Hang on one second. Yes,
Oh, they done brought out Charles Schumer. He out here dancing.
Movement hurt you? You mentioned that.
Well, he dancing. Look at him. He dancing. Where he dancing to? Oh Lord. All right, let's see. If he's not saying anything within the first 30 seconds, I'm going back to Charles.
Now, just let me hear you if you're ready for President Kamala Harris.
Gotta go. Yeah, gotta go. You ain't saying nothing.
That we were just with women against men. That's was because of the argument that you all had with the white man, which is not our business. I'm trying to deal with this.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
as you said, in the 60s, a lot of black women were pulled away from the black liberation struggle by white women who said, we as women have suffered a common oppression, which is gender specific. Little attention was paid to the fact that white women have benefited and been active participants in the oppression.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't you think that everybody has their own choice, the person, which way they want to go? As far
Well, we had one before y'all brought us here as slaves. We used to have choices.
Talk your
I don't think it has anything to do with the way the white woman is. Maybe that we had it better off, and you thought, wait, if you come to our
certainly
side,
you had it better off.
It was
You have
it
it better
was
off
our
now.
choice.
You have benefited
And now
the
the
most.
black women, they like the way we
Well,
live,
see, all
and they
that
want to
being
live
my
the
own
same way.
person and
But it has nothing to
y'all
do
would
with.
tell us that would lead to separation and loneliness, and that's what it did.
But it was your choice. It was
Well,
your
it was
choice
the
as
choice
a
that we
woman.
had been
It's
influenced.
your choice as a woman. Which way you want to go? You
It
want to come
wasn't
to
our
our
choice
side?
to come here.
You come to our side.
Sir,
Talk your shit.
Essentially, when I read the book, it said that the black man was the one that was supposed to develop the black woman. And I'd like to know, no matter how much the black woman is developed or submissive to the black man, how does that make him feel any more a man or put him in any better position than he is now?
We have to rebuild our men. We have to try to help give him confidence. As a mother and the first teacher, we are in a position to do that. God made a man and a woman so that they could complement each other in each nationality. So we have to help rebuild our men. That's something that we do out of love.
Over here, Ms. Ali.
You know, your book is very destructive. I've read Hakeem's book. I've read your book. Hakeem's book is about black men and women being complementary to each other, loving each other, supporting each other, dealing with the weaknesses and the strengths and the
His book has been
positiveness.
rejected by the
And his
majority of
book
the
is
community.
instructional. It's not a read-through. It's a study. It's not a destruction. It's a manual for African-American men and women and children. All I have heard from you is negativity. This is what I call the black man's guide to misunderstanding the black woman.
Well, what we have.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to just go back to the question of your research, because I think that whoever said that research was not important, I think that is totally erroneous. And it would be, let me finish. It would be unprincipled of you not to state clearly and precisely where you did get your data. And the other question I have for you is, are you saying then that submission and cooperation are one and the same? Because I would like to know that.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm saying that. And yes, and now in regard to what you said before about my research, as I said, I've gone over that over and over. We have a situation where I am trying to teach our people that we have lost the principles and values that we came here with. The use of bibliography and footnotes is very recent history, only about 300 years. So that's not our standard. That's not our practice. That's one that the white people have set up because of their distrust. I don't have any responsibility to follow any of the rules you all follow. I am trying to give us a new set of rules of how we can be successful. Our educated class has failed us.
We are in New York City talking about one of the most controversial books, and Salman Rushdie wrote one, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Shahrazad Ali, its author, and we'll be back to let this audience in just a moment.
Funny, they flagged me yesterday. I played college. I might as well let it ride. I'm unused.
Sir, I'm from the Shrine of Ptah.
Since he made a joke last week, Torian, I swear to God, that's Torian. He gonna troll me to death now. Hey, Torian, bruh. This is your doppelganger, my G. This is a different universe.
And in the study of our ancient Nile Valley culture, which is the first culture established by African people, we find a system of complementary balance between the male and female. Because most of the African people in the diaspora grow up under the Shemitic system of patriarchal systems, we have lost our way. We need to get back into the African system of the equal balance.
Why this?
Are you there, caller? I'm glad you waited. Hi, go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, okay. All right. What I quickly want to say is the fact that I believe that this book has become a more divisive tool between the black man and the black woman than more of making a black man understand what a black woman is all about. Number two, she still has not told us where she's got the data from. I'd like to ask Sister Ali, where did you get your data from? What age group of men did you speak to? What cities did you go to? We still haven't had that question answered.
All right. Miss Ali, comment.
I interviewed 379 black men who are either married to or dating white women. I interviewed over 100.
Wait a minute. Oh, we might have a roast battle. Wait a minute. Torian.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
You want some more? Do you? All right, Bim.
All right. You got more? Okay. Oh, you want to go there? You hope my marinara don't cling. All right. You my man, so don't take this personally. I can't even be mad at you that you said that. I ain't got nothing for you. You might got it. I can't even get mad at you. You got it. You got it. I'm gonna let it ride. You got it. Give me 5 minutes. I'll come up with a better disc.
Black women who are either married or dating black women, and over 1,000, nearly 1,200 black men and black women around the country. But what I found is that we don't have a control group. There was no point in me listing everybody's name in the back of the book. What was y'all gonna do? Call them all up? The point is that by putting their names, by not including that, then what I'm trying to say is that we have a collective problem that affects all of the people. There was no point in doing that.
Haki Madabudi, editor, publisher, Third World Press, one of the oldest black publishing houses in the country. You are an educator, sir, director of the Institute of Positive Education. You've written 16 books yourself, the latest of which is titled, certainly to the point, Black Men, Obsolete, Single, Dangerous? A question mark follows. He was also, you've also published the rebuttal to the Black Men's Guide called Confusion by Any Other Name. Here's your answer to Miss Ali's book.
Well, everybody's trying to benefit.
Talk your stuff.
You'll make your case, sir, and I know you'll do so as briefly as possible.
It's
Please give the gentleman your attention.
It's rough when ignorant people talk about how ignorant other people are. I think that Miss Ali has misstated the case. Her book is not political. It's ahistorical. About every page in the book blames black women. She does not go to the book to read from the book because the book is inaccurate. Everything from telling the woman's brain is smaller than the black man's brain, that essentially the male violence is okay within the context of the home, that I think we have to begin to realize that if Fannie Lou Hamer had this book, if Sojourner Truth had this book, if Harriet Tubman or any of our great women who have essentially led us to freedom had this book, they would throw it away. That the content of the book is not developmental. The content of the book is divisive. Everything from the language that she uses. I mean, she used savage in the book 27 times. It's just one example, calling black women savages. I think it's very clear that we live in a world that is ruled by men. No doubt about that. It is a world that is ruled primarily by white men. Okay. Now the world is not working. It's not working. And anytime you hold down one half of the species, it's not going to work. I'm saying now, since the world it's to go backwards 100 years to say that now the black man must enslave black women in order for us to develop.
Not talking
It's absolutely
slavery.
that's what she's talking about.
May I share with this audience just one excerpt
Some
from?
people are into denial. Phil, don't go to the back of the book. Let's start in the front.
Well,
I know what you're gonna do.
what am
Now,
I
you know
going to
I
do?
know by now.
Tell me what I'm going to do. What am I going to read? Am I going to read?
Read from the book. Read from the book. Go ahead. See yourself.
Analyzing the options available to the black man when the black woman's mouth becomes uncontrollably disrespectful. They total only a few. 1, he can walk away, leave the house, get drunk. 2, he can go out, go to his other woman and complain. 3, he can quit the relationship, leave the woman. 4, he can try to argue back and lose. 5, he can seek counseling or sympathy from friends. 6, or he can offer her a sound, open-handed slap in the mouth.
All right, let me respond.
You can't be proud of that, Miss
Let me
Olive.
respond. I'm proud of this entire project. It's helping my people purge. Now let me respond.
Talk your stuff.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I really expected more creativity. I'm so tired of that one. But initially, when black women were upset about that remark, certainly we know that domestic violence is at an all-time high in the black community. I would never advocate that. But currently, the black man is stabbing us. He is kicking us. He is murdering us. He's dragging us through the street. I mean, he's doing everything to us. I'm trying to put some direction and restriction on that. There's not a black man in the world who can read my book up to page 180 and think that I am telling him to be violent against a black woman. That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
It's not impossible.
Now, we have a lot of black men who are into denial because we have bullied our man and we have terrorized him. The black women in the media have bullied the black man, and they have caused a media blackout on my project, and they have bullied him.
The major problem. Well, look here. Wait a minute.
Mr.
What we gonna do?
Sir.
Anytime someone does not agree with him, if it's a man, he becomes a wimp. If a woman, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. If a woman doesn't agree with him, then she doesn't have a man. I'm saying anytime you cannot have dialogue or dissent, then it's not. It's no way to develop.
We're trying to have
now,
unity.
let me just
you can't
finish
have
this.
unity and separation at the same time.
The major point that she misses in the book, other than blaming the black woman.
Damn, they
she
brought
let
out
the white
Bernie
man off the
Sanders.
hook.
Hold on. We might
That's
have to
right.
hear what
What-
Bernie talking about. My bad. We might have to hear what Bernie talking about.
Country, businesses were shutting down. Unemployment was soaring. Workers were losing their health insurance. Schools were closing. State and city budgets were running out of money. People were being evicted from their homes.
Who started that?
Children in America were going hungry. That was the reality the Biden-Harris administration faced as they entered the Oval Office. A nation suffering, a nation frightened, and people looking to their government for support. And within 2 months of taking office, our government did respond.
Motherfucker, they had no choice.
We passed the American Rescue Plan, which provided $1,400 for every man, woman, and child in the working class. We extended and expanded benefits for the unemployed. We provided emergency assistance for small businesses to stay open. We
had no
guaranteed health care coverage to tens of millions of Americans through one of the largest expansions of Medicaid in history. We provided rent relief and mortgage assistance, which prevented tenants and homeowners from being evicted.
But you were still evicting people.
We established emergency food programs for hungry children and the elderly, and protected the pensions of millions of union workers and retirees from being slashed
and you had
by up
migrants
to
throwing food.
65%.
And you had migrants throwing food out of hotels and beating up senators.
Oh, and by the way,
what?
We cut childhood poverty by over 40%.
Lord, you're still
through an
lying on
expanded
that?
child tax credit.
Bruh, they still saying that.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, Vice President Harris. Thank you, Democratic Congress.
Yeah, okay. Boy.
Now, I say all of this not to relive that difficult moment,
Shut up.
but to make one simple point.
Shut up.
When the political will is there, government can effectively deliver for the people of our country.
Shut up. Lying bastard.
And now we need to summon that will again.
Shut up.
Because too many of our fellow Americans are struggling every day to just get by, to put food on the table, to pay the rent, and to get the health care they need. Brothers and sisters, bottom line.
Brothers and sisters.
We need an economy that works for all of us, not just the billionaire class.
Boy, you better stop talking.
My fellow Americans, when 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck, the top 1% have never, ever had it so good.
The top 1%, you mean including you,
And
sir?
these oligarchs tell us we shouldn't tax the rich. The oligarchs tell us we
Right.
shouldn't take on price gouging. We shouldn't expand Medicare to
Correct.
cover dental, hearing, and vision.
Right.
And we shouldn't increase Social Security benefits for struggling seniors.
They laughing
Well,
at you in the background, brother.
I've got some bad news for them.
What you got?
That is precisely what we are going to do.
Yeah, okay. We'll believe it when we see it, sir.
And we're going to win this struggle because this is precisely what the American people want from their government.
I'm surprised he's still talking.
And my friends, at the very top of that to-do list is the need to get big money out of our political process. Millionaires in both parties should not be able to buy elections, including primary elections. For the sake of our democracy, we must overturn the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision.
Oh, now it's the Supreme Court. Here we go. We're going to go to the Supreme Court now. Here we go.
And move toward public funding of elections.
Public funding of elections. Good job. I want to see you
Let
pull that
me
off.
tell you what else we must
Public
do.
funding of
We
hey, y'all ready to
need
pay to go
join
vote?
the rest of the industrialized world and guarantee health care to all people as a human right, not a privilege.
Right.
We need
get off
to
the page.
raise the minimum wage to a living wage.
Here we go.
We need to pass the PRO Act so that
Who's
workers
we?
can organize in unions.
Who's we? Oh, he
and
said
gain the decent pay and benefits they deserve.
you a damn lie.
We need to strengthen public education, raise teachers' salaries,
Yeah, y'all say that every year. And you don't do
and
it.
make sure that every American, regardless of income, receives the higher education he or she needs.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, sir. You would have won.
We need to take on Big Pharma.
Here we go again with the we.
And cut our prescription drug costs in half.
Oh God. Y'all could have done that 2
so
years
that we
ago.
no
You didn't want
longer
to do
pay
it.
any more than
Shut up.
other countries.
Shut up. You don't want to do it. Shut up.
Joe and Kamala made sure that no senior in America pays over $35 a month for
Trump already
insulin.
did that. We went over that last night. Trump
We
already did
need
it.
to make sure that reality is true for every American. I look forward to working with Kamala and Tim to pass this agenda.
I look forward to you
And let us be
losing.
very clear. This is not a radical agenda.
Yes, it is.
But let me tell you what a radical agenda is.
Here we go. You're going to talk about Project
And
2025.
that is Trump's Project 2025. At a time of massive income and wealth inequality,
man, you
giving
guys
more
are
tax
hilarious.
breaks to billionaires is radical.
This kid
Putting
is something
forth
on paper.
budgets to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid is radical.
Oh, God.
Letting
Now y'all scared of
polluters
paper.
destroy our planet is radical.
They're scared of conservatives.
And my friends, we won't let that happen.
Oh, God. Democrats are funny.
Fellow Americans, in the last 3.5 years,
Jesus Christ, he's still talking.
working together, we have accomplished more than any government since FDR.
Oh, God. Okay, dude. You're a damn lie.
But much, much more
I yawn when I hear
remains
bullshit.
to be done. We must summon the courage to stand up to wealth and power
Correct.
and deliver justice for people at home and abroad.
No. How about that? No.
Abroad.
Abroad.
We must end this horrific war in Gaza.
No. Because y'all don't want it to end. No. Y'all don't want it to end. Y'all want that land, oil, and water, sir. Come on.
Bring home the hostages and demand an immediate ceasefire.
Hamas did that months ago, and y'all said no because you didn't like the deal because you were getting cut out of it. But, you know, do you? Lie to the folk.
At home right here, we must take on Big Pharma,
Here we go again.
Big Oil,
Uh-huh.
Big Ag, Big Tech,
Y'all are,
and all the
damn, even
monopolists
MSNBC is
whose
fading out because you know
greed
he's full of it.
is denying progress for working people.
Dinner's ready.
On November 5th,
Crash your plane.
let us select Kamala Harris
Please
as
crash
our
your
president,
plane.
and let us go forward to create the nation we know we can become. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Crash your plane. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Lions, son of a. Let me put this on Rumble and pick. This lying bastard.
Please welcome Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Here we go. There go Black. There go Rob's big homie.
Fellow
He's gonna be on the stage in 28.
Democrats, welcome to Chicago. We're a great American city in a proud blue state. Our patriotism was formed in frost and in fire, and in the steel we forged to survive both. Our love of country has been a tapestry of faith that weaves from Abraham Lincoln reuniting a house divided to Barack
Lincoln.
Obama declaring blue states and red states make one United States.
What is he talking about?
Now, Illinois' presidential pedigree is unmatched.
And given that Vice President Kamala Harris spent some of her early life right here, I speak for the entire Illinois delegation when I say
We're going back to Shahrazad Ali.
What happened?
No. We have been blaming the white man. We can't change white people. We don't spend 30 years trying to do
I'm not trying to change
ourselves.
But you cannot blame black women for the demise of the black
blaming us
race.
for one half of the
I'm sorry,
responsibility. and you all have
Bernie
the
and
other
Miss
half.
Fool, I was playing Scrabble. I'm
Say
sorry.
that. You all talk about what I didn't do. Y'all didn't do nothing.
Are you there, caller? I'm glad you waited. Hi.
Hello?
Let me get this call on. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'd like to say to Miss Ali that I read your book from cover to cover. And, hello?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yes, I read your book from cover to cover, and I'd like to say that you brought up a few points in the book that may apply to a few people. And you took that and you built a whole house of cards around it. And we as the black people have to come together. These house of cards will not weather the storm in our years to come. We have so much, we're facing so much. In the political arena, so many derisive things are facing us. This will not bring us together. We have to come together. Not him walking behind me or I'm walking behind him. We have to join hands and work together to get through the things that are going to be that are facing us. I'm a young black woman.
Together started after I wrote this book. Prior to that time, we was walking on them.
Talk your stuff.
That's all new now.
Talk your stuff.
Now we want to have unity, and that's what I'm trying to get us to have.
Jesse Peterson, director and founder of a grassroots organization called BOND, Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. And you, what would you like to say as you listen in on this?
First, I'd like to say that BOND is rebuilding the black community by rebuilding the black man. And what Miss Ali is stating in his book is right on the money. It's very true. But what happened, the black man has failed, and because of that, the black woman has to take the responsibility of the black man, and she can't handle the responsibility. And what she has done, because of her weakness, she has destroyed her children because she's not able to handle the household.
Destroyed her children. Talk badly about their father.
Talk badly about the father. Talk badly about the father.
You don't have to be black for this to happen, but go ahead.
I know, but this is what happened in the black community because
concerned with us now.
If you look back at our history for a long ways back, the black man has not been the head of his household.
Yes, sir.
And so what BOND is doing is understanding how this woman that she speaks of in the book has destroyed the black man. What happened to his strength? What happened to his decision making?
Yes,
and we find that also what happened to white liberals, the way that they have separated the black woman, they're giving the black woman welfare, they're giving the black woman better opportunities for jobs.
That's right.
And so the black woman is on a throne feeling like she's better than the black man.
That's right.
And that's why the black community is failing. Because if the black woman looks at this, it's going to have to say, you have to step down and let your black man, well, she don't have to do it, but the black man has to understand what's wrong with him and take that position back.
So if there's a black family without let me just understand this. Help the gray-haired guy here. If there's a black family without a father, you're not surprised who would want to come home to a house where she's talking like that and has that attitude toward him. And the children see this behavior and we pass it along from generation to generation.
Verbal abuse has been recorded as being just as violent as physical abuse.
Yes, it has.
What you have to realize, Phil, it's out of order for a woman to be head of her family. And she just cannot deal with that. And so when the kids come home, because she knows that she can handle it, she's angry already. And she's passing this down. So in return, it's causing conflict in the black man.
And her daughters are growing up to believe that all black men are bums.
You can look at
feeding and clothing a child is not raising it.
That's right.
It takes more than that. We need the black man in our home because they provide guidance, direction, instruction, discipline, gratification, and fulfillment, which a lot of black women are pretending they don't even need no more. They run around trying to act like men.
We'll be back in a moment.
Say I support the sister 100%. And I think that as a nation, we all brothers and sisters should get together and work together with one another and stop all of this misunderstanding and confusion.
To be sure. Sir.
Right now, I feel that we as black people are talking, women and men, no matter what device was used to get us to talk, we are now talking as black man and a black woman.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Simply that Miss Ali speaks to education, she speaks to parenting, she speaks to attitudes, but she does not in any place here give steps, concepts, ideologies. You only attack the African-American woman for what she has not done. You do not give directions. You do not give sound advice.
The purpose of the book was to describe our collective behavior of the negative patterns of behavior.
You have described your concept of collective behavior,
and I could do it any way I
not
want
the
to, and that's why I did
African-American
it that
woman's
way.
concept of collective behavior.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Black men interpret this book differently from black women. We read it differently because we are different.
Talk your
Listen,
stuff.
I'm very upset, and I didn't want to get emotional about this, but I'm a mother, and I'm going to tell this young man and yourself, some of the statements you make in there, and you're saying all the derogatory things we do. I have raised 2 boys by myself. My husband is dead. I work.
The book wasn't for you, madam. That wasn't for you. Your husband died. That's unfortunate. That book was not for you.
Go to school. I raised my 2 sons. One of them in college right now. The other one is in high school. They're nice, young, balanced men, and they don't have.
Man, that ain't
I have
for
never
you.
said a bad thing about a black man. And one of the things is that you say in your book, you don't say anything that we nurture. I work in the community. I work in the church. So what you should be, when you're going to bring out grievances, you should bring out 2 sides to a topic.
The book is to explain.
Yeah.
And wait a minute.
Yeah.
What we have the problem we have is that when we as black women raise our children along, especially our boy children, they take on the emotional mechanism of the black female. And we can't help but get emotional because we are emotional. Our emotions are out of control, sister. See, this here runs the temperature up. But it's all right. This is going to be okay. Just try to handle it. Read the book slow. Don't read it fast.
I love Charizard, boy.
Y'all get it, page 36.
Time magazine.
Damn,
Magazine,
Prick
I'm
is
sorry.
still talking.
Shows on page 36. It says the
There goes
decline
brother
of New
Phil
York. Pictures
Valentine.
worth 1,000 words. You see a man here attacking a black woman, a black man attacking a black woman with 2 white cops trying to save her life. And right next to it, you look at it, you see 2 white people sunbathing supposedly on a depraved and see the dilapidated dock. Now, if you watch this particular scenario about attack, sister, we are, as black men, constantly being attacked by the kind of rhetoric that you see in the media. And the media now has been part and parcel responsible for giving us or engendering us with this type of scenario to what we're having right here now.
She agreed.
And right now, but you see, every time we look at the African woman, we see her as the victim and the black man as the one inflicting. So now we're talking about the victim is constantly being the one, not the fact that the person we're talking about who's trying to supposedly save her life is part and parcel of the conspiracy.
We have a situation where our men have always been.
I'm a social worker from New Jersey, and I read the book, and I believe in the book personally and professionally. And I just want to say that I'm a black woman with a black man, and I am in agreement. And I am appalled that we are here today trying to discuss black men and black women relationship, and all you black women that are sitting here in opposition are not thinking about coming together.
Well, it's hard to do that. Just stay with me for a second. Show him number 40. Show him number 40, Brian. Now, Ms. Ali, thank you for the support of your book. We need monitors here.
Well,
disrespect the language the black woman uses to address the black man. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're such a mama's boy. You ain't nothing, and you ain't never gonna be nothing. You don't tell me what to do. Men are dogs.
We have heard these comments in our home. I have heard my mother say to me, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Well, my right hand knows what I'm doing, and I'm not going to deal in that deception, and that's where we are.
Kenshin, I've never heard of you. But okay, back to Shahrazad. Oh, you bastard. The mouse is playing again. The mouse is playing around again.
Heard these comments in our home. I have heard my mother say to me, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Well, my right hand knows what I'm doing, and I'm not going to deal in that deception, and that's where we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, 100%. We got a problem here. For the women that this not apply to, it doesn't apply to. We got too many sisters here that this does apply to. Too many brothers here who read it. Our people have been de-Africanized. When you become de-Africanized, we didn't have this problem before we was dragged here. There's a reason why we're having it now. You understand?
Get you in a second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The sisters in here who are in disagreement saying that the women, the backbone and everything, you have to look at the condition of the youth in America. Black men more in prison than in college and everything. You know what I mean? That's the women raise the children. So any disrespectful and bad attributes that they have, who did they get them from?
You know, they was hella mad at him for that. He was hella mad at her boy for that.
Please.
I think one of the problems that we're having discussing this is a problem of balance. I grew up in a single parent household with a very strong mother. My mother was a young woman when I was growing up, and instead of going out and partying, it was disco days. She worked for 11 hours a day, and she kept us together. And I'm sorry, this is not a balanced picture that you're drawing here. I mean, black women, I'm sorry, I have nothing but respect and congratulations
I'm the first woman in 500 years, the first black woman.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this is important. Is it a balanced picture that I am the first black woman in 500 years to write a book in favor of the black man? Is that a balanced picture?
You're not the first woman to do. You keep saying that you're the first woman, but the world didn't begin with you. You're just trying to make money off of black women, and it's not right.
I want to talk about the Monet.
I think you have to understand that we, as black women who are in disagreement with your book, we support what you're saying. We have a problem with the dehumanizing imagery in that book and the fact that it denigrates so many of us.
We didn't like the delivery. The verb wasn't in the right tense. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll get you in, I promise.
I didn't read the book, but it seemed to me.
Thank you.
I didn't read the book, but it seems to me she is just trying to help all black women and black men.
Wait. I'm not finished.
But what I want to know is, as her and other black women and black men here.
Yeah. It's as though somebody wrote a book saying all women with red hair are wretched.
Why is he on this thing?
That's the way some see this.
Is it just working for self-improvement, though?
Miss Ali?
That's absolutely not the truth. It's a book telling us that all of this so-called political game, politics means policy, and the only place we can implement any permanent policy is in our homes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to remind black women to do.
Yes. Yes, please, Jesse.
That's Vivian Gardner's name.
Please let him make his point.
Well,
Sir.
one thing I want to speak about is
Please give him your attention.
One thing I want to speak about is the emotion of the black man. The black man is emotionally out of order too because of the black woman. We're not strong within ourselves. We have no sense of direction for ourselves. And this insecurity has been passed down to us from the black woman because the father has not been there for us.
Here's what she'll tell the child when the black man is not present, according to Shahrazad Ali. Show him 43, Brian. Here's how you depict black women alone at home with the kids. Your father don't care nothing about you. I'm the one who loves you.
Man is not in the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if he wanted you here, he'd be with you. Your father's a bum. He ain't got no job. He ain't got no nothing. Mr. Peterson, among others, steps forward to say that once you expose a child of any sex to that kind of rhetoric in childhood, they will grow up to disrespect the gender of the person against whom it's directed.
Disrespecting our men in front of our children, and usually it's based upon because he does not give us money. We can't raise a child with just money. You have to have some guidance and some direction from the father. We must return to parental coalition. It shouldn't have anything to do with money. We use our children as a weapon against our men, and if they don't give us money, we don't even let them see
And
it.
you're saying in a large section of the black community, the black woman is emotionally beating up the male.
Yes.
We'll be back in just a moment. Make your point here. You've been very patiently
I think
listening.
that the major problem is that Miss Ali has been able to use English very well. What she says here sounds logical, but it's not in the book. It is not in the book.
Okay, tell us the difference, please.
The major difference in the book is it's almost 200-page diatribe against black women. There's not even 10 pages in the book that says anything positive about black women. Now, on the other side, there are no answers to the problem. There are no answers. There are no answers in the book. She doesn't deal with the whole question of education. She doesn't deal with white supremacy. She doesn't deal with the political reality.
We've dealt with all of those books, and ain't nobody read them. Our people haven't read the book. Our people are reading my book.
I have the answer for you. I have the answer. She doesn't deal with the whole question.
Hold it, please. Thank you very much for giving your thoughtful attention.
Control his show.
We cannot go back 100 years still. We have to understand that what the brother said about balancing is very important. That is, you have 60% of the head of households in black community headed by black women. These black women are at the lowest level.
Why are they alone, brother?
At the lowest, because white supremacy has
why don't they have a man?
Well, one of the men are not there. That's why they don't have a man.
No, I know they're gone, but why did they leave?
No. The men did not leave. The men were forced out. See, you don't understand history. When we came out of integration and came into the war on poverty, Johnson signed a bill in terms of aid to families and children, and that people could get the money, the women could get the money if the men were not there. The men were pushed out of the home by white people, not by black women. All right?
Now, we must understand that this country has gone from, say, 1900 to agrarian-based, industrial-based economy to an economy today based upon services, information gathering, and new technology. White women came back into the economy in 1968, 1969, pushing black men out. Underground economy began to develop. What I'm trying to make is that we cannot take a victim.
This must be the weakest night because I'm going to give Obama
and the victim blames the victim. Rather than recognize
that white folk psychology. We're not dealing with that anymore, brother. The time is up for that. We're on another whole different program now. No, we're not into that anymore.
I have the answer to our problem. What the black man gonna have to do is stop looking to the black woman for the answer. He's gonna have to look at himself and overcome that problem that he has, and then take charge of his home.
Tell him what he hasn't known about us. This is so he'll know what he's dealing with.
Is the caller there? Thank you for waiting. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, hello. I want to know whether or not Miss Ali is holding black women responsible for the failure of black men to stay in high school and college and to perform well and put themselves in a position to be economically independent and to take care of their families.
You don't like my
I'm not against the black woman taking up raise our children. I'm not saying that. See, the point is that this was not intended to be a book of balance to show the good points and the bad points of the black woman. This is to show that we are strong black women. But I'm saying we have used our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it against her. I didn't have to show it in that. You wrote your book the way you wanted to. Didn't nobody buy it. I wrote mine the way I wanted to, and it was the truth.
Are you there, caller?
And that's what the real issue is here. That's really what we're dealing with.
May I ask this caller to please make
this book and the success of this?
I get it. Are you there, caller? Hi.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm deeply saddened by Miss Ali's book, and I just think that it reiterates some of the negativism that the majority populace in this country likes to constantly perpetuate that our community, the African American community, is in. It's unfortunate that Miss Ali feels this way. I don't think it depicts the total African American community and the way that it's existing today. I think that
all of the people agree with the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran.
Yeah.
I think that it reiterates myths about the African American community that is not true, and it's just unfortunate this book is getting so much attention in the media because, again, I think it's getting the attention because it projects the African American community negatively.
Hang on 1 second, please. Yes, ma'am. Please let this young woman make her case.
I think that woman expresses a lot of what black women feel about the book, which is that the book expresses a lot of negativism but we practice a lot of negativism. It has to be faced. We have to face what we do in order to change what we do. People spend millions of dollars every year with psychiatrists who sit them on a couch or lay them on a couch so that they can come to grips with what they do and live in reality. That's what we have to do. We have to face it. I read the book from cover to cover. I agree.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please. Yes.
Listen, now I have raised my children. I'm all through all this, but I've been reading the book, and I want to highly recommend it to black women, black men, and wait a minute, because that's a fine, upstanding woman on that podium over there, and she does not come here to downtrod her race. You can believe it.
Yes, sir.
But see, one of the problems with the sister, the basis of her book, why she can't speak for all black women, because it's from a sectarian point of view, it's from an Islamic point of view. So, you know,
is he?
Brother, get out. Okay. That's called denial.
Miss Ali, I agree with some of the stuff you're saying, but you're also saying that we are 50% blame black women, and then white men are the other 50%. When are black men are going to take responsibility for what they're doing? And then the other point is share your man.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Miss, yes, you did. Yes, Miss, you did too say it.
You wrote a book about it.
You did say it. I didn't read the book. You did say it. Can I finish, please?
No, you got to go to commercial.
I got a break. We'll be back in a moment. You want to see the dress? You can't buy this book in every place, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. You're saying you'll never get on the New York Times because that's a white list, huh?
Right.
Show them the address. Those of you interested in this
Tokyo stuff.
book that has just caused is hit like a shot throughout the African American community. And Ms. Ali would like you to know that you don't have to be a minority to read this, and lots of white folks are. At 2019 South 7th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or you can call area code 215-339-0062. We're pleased to give you this opportunity to get a hold of this book, and you wanted to say.
Yes, my question is directed to Mr. Habuti and to the sisters in the audience. I've read that some of us are in jail, some of us are on addictive substances, some of us prefer a homosexual lifestyle, some of us do not face up to our responsibilities. My question is to you, sir, and the sisters in the audience, what is wrong with the black sister if the sister's book is a fallacy? What is wrong with you all? As evidence of your children. I'd like to hear from the sisters in the audience what is wrong.
You do not accept responsibility for 50% of the responsibility. What percentage do you accept, and how does it manifest?
Exactly, from the sisters. What is wrong with you all?
Is anything wrong with y'all?
About the bark on you, boy.
Let me explain something to you right now. We're all in the same boat. I was just telling that to this brother right here. If you row in two different directions, you're going to go in circles, all right? That's number one. Number two, nobody forces you to do anything that you don't want to do. If you take the line of least resistance, that's the direction in which you move. Now, the way in which it manifests in terms of what's happening here right now.
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What we did wrong was carrying your behind for the last 15 years. On top of that, I have a son. I have a son. My son is in acting. My son is going to college. My son is doing quite well. I have a daughter in grad school. I'm a single parent, okay? Now, you as a black man are as responsible for standing on your 2 feet as I am responsible. And how it's manifesting right now is in this midst of confusion that we're dealing with.
Don't catch the question.
No, I'm not cleaning anything up. I don't have to.
Very good.
You can see for yourself.
Now, here we have an example, Phil. If we stay in here long enough, every black woman I mentioned in this book will stand up.
Miss Ali, I truly hope that you make all of the money that you obviously want to make. Because
why is she back on the mic? Now she want to show. Get that mic from her.
It seems to me,
there's a lot of people who haven't spoken.
It seems to me that you're behaving very much as the woman you described right just now.
I'm a black woman raised in America. I am a black woman raised in America too.
The real issue is that this is about a media event. White America has truly been entertained by the African American community this afternoon. And I am very, very sorry that we are nothing more than fodder and blood money for you to make money on your book. This is a travesty and a shame.
Yes, let me get somebody who hasn't had a shot here. Yes.
Come to my lectures. I'm doing them nationally and find out what I'm saying. Go ahead, brother.
Sister Ali,
yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you that sub means beneath and under. So it's very clever to say that it means to collaborate with. That's just not true. Secondly, if you're saying submit and subdue, that means under. And my question to you, I have 2 points to make. One, can you say that the sun is greater than the moon, or yang is greater than yin, or that the left brain is greater than the right? Well, that's been the problem with Western patriarchy. That's one thing. Secondly, I disagree with the model that you present. Now, the thing is this. Let me make my point. My point is that you have to present a model. We are in bad shape. We are in bad shape, and yes, the black woman has unwittingly contributed in some ways. Right. I will admit that.
That's right.
But the model you have to present is one that presents a balance. I look at the black woman as the feminine representation of the supreme being, just like I'm the masculine representation of the supreme being. Okay? Now, that's an African perspective. If you have that as a model, then you can strive towards that. That's a balanced perspective. That's an African perspective.
And we'll be back in just a moment. The book about which we speak, which has caused such a stir, is The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. I'll tell you what, is it true you own bookstores and you're not selling it, Haki?
We will not push anything that advocates the black violence against black women.
Why did you push it at first?
We didn't push it at first.
I got checks that you signed, brother.
Let me explain something, Phil.
Yes, please.
Last year, about 6,000 books were published. Miss Ali wrote me in the beginning of the year and asked me would I help push her book. All right?
No,
I had not.
I wanted to let you know, brother. I was doing.
I did not. I had not read. I had not read the book.
Right.
Okay. After I read the book, we pulled the book off the shelves primarily because of the advocating violence against black women. Number one, and number two, 90% of the book is incorrect when you're talking about black women.
Yeah, but you don't. Listen, if you're going to pull all the books off that are incorrect, you're going to have no shelves. There's nothing but shelves.
Wait a minute. Look, wait a minute, Phil. No, if a white woman had wrote the book, if a black man had wrote the book, or if a white man had wrote the book, we wouldn't even be out here.
They're not qualified.
Right? It would be seen as racist, and the book would also be seen as a sexist book too.
Yes. Well, you know, it's a very.
One other thing. This book has done something for literacy.
My bad. Some black woman's on there. What's she talking about? Okay.
Please welcome Mesa, Arizona Mayor John Giles.
Oh God, who the hell is this? Okay, I don't care. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. At least last night, at least we could get some entertainment. I'm annoyed. This Jesus Christ. Damn. I don't know, family. I'm just trying to get to Obama and Michelle. That's all I'm trying to get to. And it's damn near almost 11 o'clock. What y'all want to watch? Fuck it.
Understandably created a firestorm of controversy within the black community. And we have assembled a distinguished group to debate its premise
There go Jesse
and
again.
its message. Basically, that the black woman is responsible for most of what ails the black community. Now, before we get into what promises to be a passionate debate, I'd like to introduce you to Debbie Mitchell, the co-producer of this program. Debbie, I want to start, I know it's unusual, but I want to start with two questions to you, the producer of the program. First of all, what do you think about the basic premise of the book that the black woman is responsible for most of what ails the black community?
First of all, black men and black women know that the black community is under strain right now. And for Shahrazad, a black woman, to basically attack black women, I think that she's putting blame. It seems like she's putting blame on them for the state of the situation.
Are you frightened by this book? I mean, are people reading it?
Yeah, people are reading it. It's specifically the younger black males. I see a lot of them on the trains when I'm coming into work. Their heads are glued to the book, and it's scary.
Are they not supposed to read it?
Okay. Our program today will examine Shahrazad Ali's controversial solutions to these very severe social problems and try just as importantly to determine what black men really want from women. That is the focus of this edition of Geraldo.
It's not somewhere else. I mean, not supposed to read the book.
Black culture in the United States and help heal the rift between black men and women. Many others,
yes.
I think it's also fair to
brother.
say, think that it's potentially dangerous and harmful, especially to black women. Now, Shahrazad Ali is the author of one of the most talked about books in the community in recent history. And before we open our discussion up to debate, I want to begin, Shahrazad, just with you telling me why you wrote the book.
Well, I wrote it because we are the missing link in our communities.
We, black women.
Is the only information the black man has not had. And we certainly represent the only group here in America who have never been examined for the root causes of our behavior. The white man has been examined, the white woman, and the black man, certainly. Now, first, let me say, Geraldo, that my position is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in our family structure. I am not saying, wait a minute.
Okay.
Because this, as we know, will go to hell in a minute. Let me first tell you what I'm saying. Okay.
It's going to go to hell in a minute.
You know, certainly the message has been misunderstood and sensationalized by the media, as we saw on the introduction of this show. What we have is a situation where we as black women have never been examined. We have never accepted our share of the responsibility for the condition of our Black community. I am not saying that we are 100% responsible. I'm saying that the Black man is 50% responsible and we are 50% responsible.
You know, I don't want this to be, if we lose half our time waiting for the applause to cease when someone makes a pro or con statement, we're going to use up half the show.
So what I'm saying
But let me just say that I read the book, and I don't read it that way. I read the book, and I think that when you have, it is impossible to sensationalize a book that uses quotes like, the Black woman is a rat who behaves like a dog while purring like a cat.
What is your nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican, as the world knows.
Okay, well, I didn't write it for the Puerto Rican man. I wrote it for the Black man. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate, that we have a very special man, and he has a set of very special needs, just like we have. We need to stop claiming that we are all the same. We're not all the same. We have the problems that come from the psychological trauma that we suffered in slavery that we have not revived from yet. And so we have to address that. And we can no longer pretend that it's the white man's fault or that it's your fault or anybody else's. I'm just saying, let's go into our homes and let's look at ourselves. The only civilizations where we have ever been successful, and the Black man didn't have a problem supporting us, being in charge of our homes and raising our children until he was brought to this country and turned into a slave and he lost his position in our home.
Is it fair to say, Shahrazad, Ms. Ali, whichever you prefer, that you propose that the Black man should be the superior figure in the family and the woman subordinate to the man?
He is. We have just devalued the importance of his presence in our home.
And you understand, while stating that flies directly in the face of all the women's movement, Black and white and red and brown and yellow, has accomplished in 2 decades.
We haven't, as Black women, we talk about our political accomplishments, but politics means policy. And the only place we can implement any permanent policy is in our homes.
May I ask you a more pragmatic question? Debbie Mitchell, our co-producer, indicates that on the subway to work, she sees young Black men with their heads in the book reading it. It appears as if your self-published book is being widely read. Do you have any idea of how many books are out there and being read?
Well, let's just say if it was a record, it would be platinum.
Let me introduce our other guests, some of whom share Ms. Ali's points of view, others dramatically and profoundly disagree. Sitting next to her is Salathiel Luster. He is the vice president of a group called BOND. That stands for the Brotherhood Organization of the New Destiny. It is a support group for men who believe that problems in the Black community do indeed stem from Black women's superior role in the family. Ariola Sinclair is a writer for the New York Amsterdam News, the most important publication, I think it's fair to say, in the African-American community, at least in this town. She has written extensively about her own personal and the public's reaction to this book. She claims the book may serve to further alienate Black women from Black men. Claykel Benjamin is an award-winning journalist and a former history professor at the University of Massachusetts. He says that Ali's guide for Black men is lacking in intellect and scholastic information. There are many, many others who join us in the front row. I'm going to save their introductions for a couple of minutes. Let me just ask Salathiel, if, sir, you believe that it is appropriate to enforce discipline in the Black family for a Black man to hit a Black woman.
Okay. I believe, as everyone here, when a child, someone you love, is out of hand or in a state of hysteria, that you can use.
Be careful.
Recommendation that you can spank the child to awaken them, not to put them to sleep. And that also, please let me finish my point. And also that it must be done in a state of non-anger. It must be done from a point of self-control. It must be done from observing that this is necessary for the well-being of the human being.
She doesn't say spanking, sir. She says smacking in the mouth very specifically.
Have you ever seen a person in hysteria? Have you ever seen a person that has in such a psychotic state that it takes a strike to bring them to reality? The pain is actually an awakening process.
Quote, if she ignores the authority and superiority of the Black man, there is a penalty. When she crosses this line and becomes viciously insulting, it is time for the Black man to soundly slap her in the mouth.
Okay.
Now, I think we are all here because I have tried to deliver a message to my people to help us with this healing process. Certainly, it's a very sensitive issue and one that all of us are affected by. We cannot deny that the Black man is beating us. He's killing us. He's murdering us. He's stabbing us. He's doing horrible things to us every day that we live. Domestic violence in the Black community is at an all-time high. I'm trying to put some direction and restriction upon a situation. Now, initially, I thought that Black women were opposing to that one sentence out of that 204-page book because they were actually outraged. But I think it's a smokescreen, brother, and I think they're trying to make the sum total of the message in my book land on that one 5-minute text.
Before we get to Abiola and Clayfell, let me jump right to Dr. Napoleon Vaughn, who is a practicing psychologist who thinks that the ideas expressed in this book are not only inaccurate, but possibly dangerous. Now, we have heard Ms. Ali, Dr. Vaughn, say that this one statement is being taken out of context. You, I believe, sir, feel it might lead to increased violence in the family. Is that not correct?
I had a patient come to me not too long ago with book in tow, a 32-year-old virgin male who had just broken up with his wife, and what he did was punch her out. This is how he thought that he should make love to her and that he should demand whatever she does. The other thing about this that disturbs me tremendously is the fact that of another patient of mine, a female, whose husband said to her, "You do what I tell you to do," and she decided, well, you're my husband, not my father, and she decided that she was going to go visit her mother. She took the baby in the carriage and started off to visit her mother. Before she knew it, she was falling down. She had taken the baby, so she continued to walk, and before she knew it again, he was on her with a brick in his hand against her head until...
Is he serious?
And she decided, well, you're my husband, not my father, and she decided that she was going to go visit her mother. She took the baby in the carriage and started off to visit her mother. Before she knew it, she was falling down. She had taken the baby, so she continued to walk, and before she knew it again, he was on her with a brick in his hand against her head until somebody of the neighbors came along and yanked her off. What I'm seeing is a tremendous amount of this from a psychologist's point of view, and if I see someone who's in a category like this, you talk about trauma, this is the clear essence of trauma, which is tantamount to psychosis. And this, in essence, is a game.
You motherfucking crazy, boy.
The premise of the book is a game.
That's it. It's entirely a game.
What?
All right. Now, wait. There's a person in the audience seems upset with what he said. What?
That's wild.
Yeah, let me tell you something. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for writing the book, and you're a very beautiful woman. Yeah, I got to say that, number one. Number two, just like the sister said, I got the book. I have the book, all right? First of all, she said she's not blaming all Black women because you got just as much bad Black women like you have bad Black men. Right. The point is this. That is, it's just a lot of Black, not all, but a lot of y'all sisters, Black sisters, you labor under the misconception that you walk around with halo and wings 24/7. Right. That's why she wrote the book.
Damn. Abiola Sinclair from the Amsterdam News, your response?
Well, first of all, let me say this. Let me qualify myself. There is some truth to the book. Excuse me. I will say there is some truth. I recognize some of myself, and I recognize some people that I know. I disagree with the premise of the book. I disagree with the agenda of the book, and I disagree with the overall inclination of the book to undermine the Black woman, to rob her of her self-confidence, to excessively blame her for societal problems that are not of her control. The Black woman has, at very least, carried this race. For several generations. And if she's stumbling and if she's falling now, it's because she's tired. And yes, she does need some help, but she needs the type of positive help and not no one to put their foot on her neck or on her head and tell them that he's a God and he's her ruler and he's her master and she must do.
Man is doing that, lady.
One of the reasons it's possible for us to always fall back on that we are the so-called backbone of the Black nation.
Commandment's husband is talking. Wait a minute, we
more
got to take a break.
benefits
I want to hear what
society.
this asshole saying. I'm sure she did. And you brought yourself to your mistress. $19. Ain't that something? Mm-hmm. New Jersey. I see you, New Jersey. The hell with Jersey. I'm sure you did. Uh-huh. Of course you did. Oh, my bad.
Left their garage door open. The neighborhood. I took the bus to Hebrew school, and I rode to Little League practice in the way back of my coach's wood-paneled station wagon. And if we did well, we got to have a Slurpee after.
A Slurpee.
In my neighborhood, everyone left their garage door open. Wherever you ended up at dinner time, that's the family that fed you.
What?
Everyone took care of everyone else.
Okay.
And the guys I grew up with are still my best friends.
I
The
don't know what
group
this
chat
means.
is active every day, and it's probably blowing up right now, guys.
Oh my God. You're not even funny.
When my dad had to get a new job, we moved across the country to LA. Money was tight. Hey, California. Money was tight, so I worked at McDonald's in high school for some extra cash.
There we go with another
Not
McDonald's
only
story.
was I Employee of the Month, but I still have the framed picture, which you just saw, and there was a ring, golden arches and all. And then I waited tables, parked cars. I was working full-time so I could afford to go to college part-time. And thanks to partial scholarships, student loans, and a little help from my dad, I got myself through law school. And I got my first job as a lawyer, which is also where I met the guys in my fantasy football league. And
Jesus Christ.
A lot has changed in our lives since the early 90s, but my team name is still Nirvana. Yes, after the band. I worked hard, and I love being a lawyer. And by the way, I still get to be part of the profession by teaching students at Georgetown Law School.
Oh, Lord.
I got married, became a dad to Cole and Ella. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce, but eventually started worrying about how I would make it all work. And that's when something unexpected happened.
You started
2013, I walked into a contentious client meeting. We worked through the issue, and by the end of the meeting, the now happy client offered to set me up on a blind date, which is how I ended up with Kamala Harris's phone number.
He was that desperate?
Now, for generations,
Bruh,
people
he is
have
throwing his old lady
debated
under the bus.
when to call the person you're being set up with. And never in history has anyone suggested 8:30 a.m.
Bruh, he is throwing his old lady under
And
the
yet-
bus. We here for it, though.
That's when I dialed. I got Kamala's voicemail, and I just started
Rambling.
There
you go.
Hey, it's Doug. I'm on my way to an early meeting. Again, it's Doug. I remember I was trying to grab the words out of the air and just put them back in my mouth. And for what seemed like far too many minutes, I hung up. By the way, Kamala saved that voicemail.
I'm sure she did.
And she makes me listen to it on every anniversary.
There you go.
But that message wasn't the only unusual thing about that day. Now, Kamala, who normally would have been working hard at her office, just happened to be waiting at her apartment for a contractor to do some work on her kitchen. I was eating at my desk, which was not a regular occurrence for a busy lawyer like me who appreciated a good business lunch.
That you could write off.
That's when she called me back.
And laughed
and we talked for an hour, and we laughed. Well, you know that laugh. I love that laugh. And maybe that counted as our first date. Or maybe it was that Saturday night when I picked her up and told her, buckle up, I'm a really bad driver. Because you can't hide anything from Kamala Harris, so you might as well own it. And as I got to know her better,
nigga is corny
and just fell in love fast, I learned what drives Kamala. And it's what you've seen over these past 4 years, and especially these past 4 weeks.
Bruh, get this man off the stage.
She finds joy
Let me tell you
in
something. When he
pursuing
wrote
justice.
this, he was like this here.
You know
She
how
stands
long
up to
I've been
bullies,
waiting for
just
this?
like my parents taught
Woo,
me
I'm about
to.
to make a name for myself
She
here.
likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated unfairly. She believes this work requires a basic curiosity in just how people are doing. Her empathy is her strength.
Empathy for what? How do I think when California inmates would have
Over the
you
past
ask a
decade,
question.
Kamala has connected me more deeply to my faith, even though it's not the same as hers.
What the fuck?
She comes to synagogue with me for high holiday services, and I go to church with her for Easter.
What about Kwanzaa?
I get to enjoy her mom's chili relleno recipe every Christmas, and she makes a mean brisket for Passover. It brings me right back to my grandmother's apartment in Brooklyn. You know, the one with the flower-covered couches.
This is insane.
Kamala has fought against anti-Semitism and all forms of hate her whole career.
This is insane.
She's the one who encouraged me as second gentleman to take up that fight, which is so personal to me. And those of you who belong to blended families know that they can be a little complicated.
Blended family?
But as soon as our kids started calling her Mamala, I knew we'd be okay. Ella calls us a three-headed parenting machine. Kamala and Kirsten, thank you both. Thank you both.
That blended family.
For always putting your family and the kids first. Now, Cole and Ella's friends knew that when they'd come over for Sunday dinner with Mamala, it was going to be real talk. In between taking cooking instructions, they'd have to answer questions about what problem they wanted to solve in the world. They learned that you've always got to be prepared because Kamala is going to prosecute the case. And in the same breath that Cole and Greenlee told us that they were engaged, they asked Kamala to officiate their wedding.
I mean, that's...
And in the same way that she always steps up when it matters, Kamala put so much time into those remarks. Oh my God. And she bound them in a book that matched her dark red dress and then turned that into a gift for the happy couple. A few days ago, during this incredible time we're going through, there was a brief window when Kamala was back at home. And I saw her sitting on her favorite chair, and in the middle of a wild month, I just hoped that she was having a quiet moment to herself. But then I realized she was on the phone. And of course, my mind went to all the potential crises that the vice president could be dealing with. Was it domestic? Was it foreign? Was it campaign? I could see she was focused. And all I knew was that it must be something important.
Here comes the
and it
joke.
turns out it was.
She's ordering pizza.
Ella had called her. That's Kamala. That's Kamala. Those kids are her priorities, and that scene was a perfect map of her heart. She's always been there for our children, and I know she'll always be there for yours too.
I don't know if he's drunk, but I'm about to get drunk. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Kamala is a joyful warrior.
That's from Pokemon.
It's doing for
That's
her
Jigglypuff
country what
song.
she has always done for the people that she loves. Her passion will benefit all of us when she's our president. And here's the thing about joyful warriors. They're still warriors. And Kamala is as tough as it comes. Just ask the criminals, the global gangsters, and the witnesses before the Senate Judiciary Committee. She never runs from a fight. And she knows the best way to deal with a coward is to take him head on. Because we all know cowards are weak, and Kamala Harris can smell weakness. She doesn't tolerate any BS. You've all seen that look, and you know that look I'm talking about. That look is not just a meme. It reflects her true belief in honest and direct leadership. And it's also why she will not be distracted by nonsense.
Which one?
Kamala
I'll
knows
let
that in
y'all
order
pick.
to
Which
win,
one?
we cannot lose
Which one?
focus.
The white or the red?
America, in this election, you have to decide who to trust with your family's future.
I don't trust you
I
telling
trusted
stories.
Kamala with our family's future. It was the best decision I ever made. This Thursday will be our 10th wedding anniversary.
That's it, just 10 years?
Which I know it means I'm about to hear that embarrassing voicemail again. However, that's not all I'll be hearing. That same night, I'll be hearing my wife, Kamala Harris, accept your nomination for President of the United
I thought something
States.
else. I thought something else.
And with your help, she will lead with joy and toughness, with that laugh and that look, with compassion and conviction. She'll lead from the belief that wherever we come from, whatever we look like, we're strongest when we fight for what we believe in, not just against what we fear. Kamala Harris was exactly the right person for me at an important moment in my life. And at this moment in our nation's history, she is exactly the right president.
By
Thank
the way,
you so
we
much.
haven't even got to the Obamas yet. Get off the stage. Crash your plane, please. Oh my God. What was
Michelle Obama?
Here we go. Here we go. Now it's about to get live. It's about to get live. She about to get 15 minutes. It's finna get live. I muted it because I don't want to hear this music. And I don't want to get, how old are his kids? They in their 20s. I think one of them transitioned. So there's that. And I don't give a damn. All right. Is music done yet? Nope. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get to the show.
Okay. We got a big night ahead.
I'm sure you do.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Okay. Hey. Hello, Chicago. Something wonderfully magical is in the air, isn't it? Yeah.
I might smoke weed.
You know, we're feeling it here in this arena, but it's spreading all across this country we love. A familiar feeling that's been buried too deep for far too long.
That's what she said.
You know what I'm talking about. It's the contagious power of hope.
Where you think you were, 2008?
The anticipation, the energy, the exhilaration of once again being on the cusp of a brighter day. The chance to vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate that have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation. the dream that our parents and grandparents
Oh my
fought
gosh, she sounds like
and
Amanda
died
Gorman.
and sacrificed for. America, hope is making a comeback.
Wow.
Yeah.
Obama back in the White House. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Pull the seat up.
To be honest,
You sound like Dawn
I
Lewis.
am realizing that until recently, I have mourned the dimming of that hope. And maybe you've experienced the same feelings, that deep pit in my stomach,
You could get
a
a red light for
palpable
that.
sense of dread about the future.
You need to see Jesus.
And for me, that mourning has also been mixed with my own personal grief. The last time I was here in my hometown was to memorialize my mother, the
You didn't go
woman
to Chicago
who
for 4
showed
years.
me the meaning of hard work and humility and decency, the woman who set my moral compass high and showed me the power of my own voice. Folks,
Nasty work.
I still feel her loss so profoundly. I wasn't even sure if I'd be steady enough to stand before you tonight, but my heart compelled me to be here because of the sense of duty that I feel to honor her memory and to remind us all not to squander the sacrifices our elders made to give us a better future.
Wow.
You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope every single day of her life. She believed that all children, all people have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. They understood
Like your husband.
that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning. So my mother volunteered at the local school. She always looked out for the other kids on the block. She was glad to do the thankless, unglamorous work that for generations has strengthened the fabric of this nation. The belief that if you do unto others, if you love thy neighbor, if you work and scrape and sacrifice, it will pay off. If not for you, then maybe for your children or your grandchildren.
Go that Bible, bro.
You see, those values have been passed on through family farms and factory towns, through tree-lined streets and crowded tenements, through prayer groups and National Guard units and social studies classrooms. Those were the values my mother poured into me until her very last breath. Kamala Harris and I built our lives on those same foundational values.
Your lies?
Even though our mothers grew up an ocean apart, they shared
So you're
the
admitting that
same
she's not
belief
black?
in the promise of this country.
Did you just admit that she's
That's
not
why
black?
her mother moved here from India at 19. It's why she taught Kamala about justice, about the obligation to lift others up, about our responsibility to give more than we take. She'd often tell her daughter, don't sit around and complain about things, do something. So, with that voice in her head, Kamala went out and she worked hard in school, graduating from an HBCU, earning her law degree at a state school.
Oh, Lord.
And then she went on to work for the people, fighting to hold lawbreakers accountable, strengthening the rule of law, fighting to get folks better wages, cheaper prescription drugs, a good education, decent health care, child care,
You know where
elder
her mama
care.
came from.
From
Her
a
mama smell like
middle-class
this here.
household, Kamala worked her way up to become Vice President of the United States of America.
My girl.
Kamala Harris
My
is
girl.
more than ready for
Look
this
at
moment.
this Negro.
She is one of the most qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency.
He can't make collard greens. That's a horrible disqualifier.
And she is one of the most dignified. A tribute to her mother, to my mother, and to your mother too. The
Not my mama.
embodiment of the stories we tell ourselves about this country. Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve to be accepted and valued. Because no one has a monopoly on what it means to be an American. No one.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
Kamala
Jesus Christ.
has shown her allegiance to this nation, not by spewing anger and bitterness, but by living a life of service and always pushing the doors of opportunity open to others. She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth.
Damn, they got Rick James up in there. Lord have mercy. No, that's Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate. Yes. Randy Watson has entered the building. Randy Watson has entered the building. Shout out to Randy Watson.
Of generational wealth will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth.
Your home girl, she watched it fall. Go ahead, Randy Watson.
No, they're of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No.
Your girl.
We don't get to change the rules, so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No.
Your husband went through that.
We've
Let me be
seen
quiet.
from Kamala Harris the steel of her spine, the steadiness of her upbringing, the honesty of her example, and yes, the joy of her laughter and her light. It couldn't be more obvious. Of the two major candidates in this race, only Kamala Harris truly understands the unseen labor and unwavering commitment that has always made America great.
Oh, we got to put on the sister girl wig.
Now, unfortunately,
Got to put it on.
we know what comes next.
What comes next?
We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth.
She the one.
My
that said
husband
it.
and I sadly know a little something about this.
Oh, here we go.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us.
Fear who?
See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be Black.
Who is we? Who is we?
Black folks, that's only when they like you, when you on stage in front of them performing. That's the only time they like you.
I want to know who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those Black jobs.
Oh Lord.
You fucking coons got me fucked up.
Democrats always kill Joe.
Same old con.
Oh boy.
His same old con. Doubling down
why should I
on
care?
ugly, misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions that will actually make people's lives better. Look, because cutting our health care, taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did,
You mean the big ass one
those
y'all had in the lobby?
things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. Shutting down the Department of Education, banning our books, none of that will prepare our kids for the future. Demonizing our
when you gonna get the
children for
Democrats in
being
Florida
who
for
they are
saying
and
that,
loving who
that
they
trigger
love. Look,
you
that
working
doesn't
on
make
this crap.
anybody's life better.
Look at her. She's like, what?
Instead, it only makes us small. And let me tell you this, going small is never the answer.
That's what she said.
Going small is the opposite of what we teach our kids.
That's what she said.
Going small is petty, it's unhealthy, and quite frankly, it's unpresidential.
That's what she said.
So, why would any of us accept this from anyone seeking our highest office? Why would we normalize that type of backward leadership?
You said what?
Doing so only
Joe
demeans
Zimmerman.
and cheapens our politics. It only serves to further discourage good, big-hearted people from wanting to get involved at all. America, our parents taught us better than that, and we deserve so much better than that.
Who is we?
That's why we must do everything in our power to elect
There go Randy
two
Watson
of
again.
those good, big-hearted people. There is no other choice than Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. No other choice.
Harris Walls.
But as we embrace this renewed sense of hope, let us not forget the despair we have felt. Let us not forget what we are up against.
Let us
Yes,
lead us
Kamala
not
and
into
Tim are doing
temptation.
great now. We're loving it. They're packing arenas across the country. Folks are energized. We are feeling good. But remember, there are still so many people who are desperate for a different outcome, who are ready to question and criticize every move Kamala makes, who are eager to spread those lies, who don't want to vote for a woman, who will continue to prioritize building their wealth over ensuring that everyone has enough. So no matter how
Remember, Obama
good
said,
we
not
feel
Obama, Biden
tonight
said
or
we
tomorrow
gotta
or the
be
next
holding
day,
to them Hispanic.
this is going to be an uphill battle. So folks, we cannot be our own worst enemies. No.
Enemies don't
See,
live
because
like
the minute
people do.
something goes
They
wrong,
always remember
the minute a
you.
lie
Whether
takes
the
hold,
things are
folks, we
good or
cannot
bad,
start wringing our
it's those
hands.
memories that you
We
have.
cannot get a
I'll be in my
Goldilocks
thing,
complex
hey.
about whether everything is just right.
Uh-huh. Fuck your stuff, Michelle. I ain't
And
even mad. Who the hell is that?
we
Fuck your
cannot
stuff.
indulge our anxieties about whether this country will elect someone like Kamala instead of doing
I'm a
everything
troll.
we can to get someone like Kamala elected.
No, we good. I'm gonna vote this South on the voters line. That's what I'm gonna do.
Kamala and
Uh-huh.
Tim,
And
they
Tim.
have lived amazing lives.
Haven't they?
And I am confident that they will lead with compassion, inclusion, and grace. But they are still only human. They are not perfect.
All you pretty girls
And like
want.
all of us, they will make mistakes. But luckily, y'all, this is not just on them. No, this is up to us, all of us, to be
Who's
the
us?
solution that we seek.
They're not
It's
like
up to
us.
all of us to be the antidote to the darkness and division.
Hey, that chick looked like Don
Look,
Lemon's
I
doppelganger.
don't care how you identify politically, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or none of the above. This is our time to stand up for what we know in our hearts is right. To stand up, not just for our basic freedoms, but for decency and humanity, for basic respect, dignity, and empathy, for the values at the very foundation of this democracy. It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain, do something. So if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what? We only have 2.5 months, y'all, to get this done. Only 11 weeks to make sure every single person we know is registered and has a voting plan.
You got 11 weeks. What you gonna do?
We cannot afford for anyone America to sit on their hands and wait to be called.
Look at the flag.
Don't complain if no one from the campaign has specifically reached out to you to ask you for your support.
We don't complain,
there is simply no time for that kind of foolishness.
Word.
And you know what you need to do. So, consider this to be your official ask. Michelle Obama is asking you, no, I'm telling y'all to do something.
The more hit, and hit, and four hit, and
You all,
I was just imitating
this election
Bolo from
is going to be close. In some states, just a handful, listen to me, a handful of votes in every precinct could decide the winner. So we need to vote in numbers that erase any doubt. We need to overwhelm any effort to suppress us. Our fate is in our hands. In 77 days, we have the power to turn our country away from the fear, division, and smallness.
In 77 days, I'm going to morph into the Black Power
We
Ranger.
have the power to marry our hope with our action. We have the power to pay forward the love, sweat, and sacrifice of our mothers and fathers and all those who came before us.
You sound like
we did it before, y'all, and we sure can do it again. Let us work like our lives depend on it. And let us keep moving our country forward and go higher. Yes, always higher than we've ever gone before as we elect the next president and vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thank you all. God bless.
Now get your husband on the stage. I want to hear what he's talking about. You still talking?
Now,
I thought you were done.
before I go,
Oh, wait, you gonna take a shot?
I have one more job tonight.
Or you gonna bring out your husband? Let's get it. You can bring out her husband. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Bring that man outside.
One more job.
Yeah, bring him outside.
You all, thank you for all the love.
Here. Do you hear me? Right here.
But it is now my honor
You heard what I said. Just
to introduce somebody
Bring that man out.
who knows a whole lot about hope. Someone who has spent his life strengthening our democracy. And let me tell you, as someone who lives with him, he wakes up every day, and thinks about what's best for this country. Please welcome America's 44th president and the love of my life, Barack Obama.
Music. You know what, Michelle, you didn't do this right. Nah, you didn't do this right. I'm gonna help you.
Obama is a Mac daddy. Obama pimps white women and black women. He got started. You didn't notice him till he brought out those big-chested white women with their tight t-shirts and their short pants. That's what a pimp does. Oh, come on. You don't get your campaign started with a big-chested white woman. She must be a 54D, double D, and a pair of shorts on. That's what started his campaign. He put his name on 2 big 54Ds. He's a Mac daddy. He pimps white women and black women. Obama is a long-legged Mac daddy.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Somebody go check on Brother Harvey. He about to lose his mind. Start. Go check on Brother Harvey.
That's enough. Thank you, thank you. Chicago! It's good to be home.
Obama, it's been like 8 years,
good
brother.
To be home, and
It's been 8 years, brother. How you still ain't grow no facial hair?
I'm feeling fired up.
Here he go. Here he go.
I am feeling ready to go.
I really need to go home.
Even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama. I am feeling hopeful because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. Because we have a chance to elect someone who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chances America gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you.
Oh, Lord.
The next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. It's been 16 years since I had the honor of accepting this party's nomination for president. And I know that's hard to believe because I have not aged a bit. But it's true. And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best. And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president.
And why should I care?
Other than some common Irish blood, Joe and I come from different backgrounds, but we became brothers. And as we worked together for 8, sometimes pretty tough years, what I came to admire most about Joe wasn't just his smarts, his experience. It was his empathy and his decency.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Earned
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Unshakable belief that everyone in this country deserves a fair shot. And over the last 4 years, those are the values America has needed most. At a time when millions of our fellow citizens were sick and dying, we needed a leader with the character to put politics aside and do what was right. At a time when our economy was reeling
You lying mother.
We needed a leader with the determination to drive what would become the world's strongest recovery. 15 million jobs, higher wages, lower health care costs.
The economy in your first 4 years, you lying
At a
bastard.
time when the other party had turned into a cult of personality.
Yeah, because you sold us out.
We needed a leader who was steady.
Yeah.
And brought people together.
You ain't bring nobody together.
And was selfless enough
to black
do the
people,
rarest
everybody
thing there is in politics.
The only black
putting his
people
own ambition aside for the sake of the country.
You ain't playing shit. Your punk asses out there at rallies with phones trying to
History
message out. And
will remember Joe Biden as an outstanding president who defended democracy at a moment of great danger.
Hey, dumbass, he put us in
And I am proud to call him my president, but I am even prouder to call him my friend.
You bastard.
Wow. The
I hate
torch
this
has
man.
been passed.
I'm
Now
sorry, Mosai.
it is up
I strongly
to all
dislike
of us
this man. Strongly.
to fight
You don't understand.
for the America we believe in. And make no mistake, it will be a fight. For all the incredible energy we've been able to generate over the last few weeks, for all the rallies and the memes.
Fool, you care more about Japan than your own people.
This will still be a tight race in a closely divided country. A country where too many Americans are still struggling.
Whose fault was that?
Where a lot of Americans don't believe government can help.
Whose fault was that?
And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question.
Sell me your candidate.
Who will fight for me?
None of you.
Who's thinking about my future?
None of you.
About my children's future?
None of
about
you.
our future together?
The only person that's doing it is me.
One thing is for certain.
Two things for sure. You're a dumbass.
Donald Trump is
and
not
you're a
losing
dumbass.
sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems
Why you
since he
talking
rode
about-
down his golden escalator 9 years ago.
Who cares?
It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances.
You probably
that's actually been getting
bastard,
worse now that
you
he's
probably
afraid of
sat
losing
and played
Kamala.
golf with him the other day. You bastard.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy
You mean the
conspiracy
childish thing like you
theories,
calling Kanye a jackass?
this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
Wait. Please, Julia White. This is what we doing.
It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day.
And you're the idiot
Now,
best friend that
from a
shows up
neighbor-
every episode.
That's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous.
You were dangerous.
The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than it means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him and his rich friends.
And your wife.
He
and
killed
your daughter,
a
and
bipartisan
your inner circle.
immigration deal written in part by one of the most conservative Republicans in Congress that would have helped secure our southern border because he thought trying to actually solve the problem would hurt his campaign. He doesn't. Do not boo. Vote.
Conservatives, I hope you're listening. Get out.
He doesn't seem to care if more women lose their reproductive freedom since it won't affect his life.
I'm hungry.
And most of all, Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them, between the real Americans, who of course support him, and the outsiders who don't. And he wants you to think that you'll be richer and safer if you will just give him the power to put those other people back in their place. It is one of the oldest tricks in politics. From a guy whose act has, let's face it, gotten pretty stale.
Well, you've been stale since 2020.
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse.
And Tom Peter, that's tough. That's why
America's ready for a new chapter.
Now go get that back.
America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
You're ready. We don't care.
And why should I care?
Who cares? But yeah, I feel absolutely nothing for them.
Fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion. As you heard from Michelle, Kamala was not born into privilege. She had to work for what she's got. And she actually cares about what other people are going through. She's not the neighbor running the leaf blower. She's the neighbor rushing over to help when you need a hand. As a prosecutor, Kamala stood up for children who had been victims of sexual abuse. As an attorney general of the most populous state in the country, she fought big banks and for-profit colleges, securing billions of dollars for the people they had scammed. After the home mortgage crisis, she pushed me and my administration hard to make sure homeowners got a fair settlement. Didn't matter that I was a Democrat. Didn't matter that she had knocked on doors for my campaign in Iowa. She was going to fight to get as much relief as possible for the families who deserved it.
Wait a minute, y'all. Don't cancel Don Cheadle. That Don Cheadle's a scroll.
As vice
according
president,
to the Marvel script.
She helped take on
the real
the
one
drug companies
is
to cap the cost of insulin, lower the cost of health care, give families with kids a tax cut. And she is running for president with real plans to lower costs even more and protect Medicare and Medicaid. And sign a law to guarantee every woman's right to make her own health care decisions.
Why y'all talking for? Why are you masked up? What's wrong with you?
In other words, Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours. As president, she won't just cater to her own supporters and punish those who refuse to kiss the ring or bend the knee. She'll work on behalf of every American. That's who Kamala is. And in the White House, she will have an outstanding partner in Governor Tim Walz.
Nasty
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love this guy.
Don P, be quiet.
Tim is the kind of person who should be in politics. Born in a small town, served his country, taught kids, coached football, took care of his neighbors. He knows who he is, and he knows what's
who you
important.
are, sir.
You can tell those flannel shirts he wears don't come from some political consultant. They come from his closet, and they have been through some stuff.
They went through the closet. He was trapped in the closet. Let down.
They have been through some stuff. That's right.
Is he insane?
Together, Kamala and Tim have kept faith with America's central story. A story that says we are all created equal.
Nah, that ain't the story we heard. We heard
All
this
of us
one.
endowed
Are your
with
feelings
certain
hurt?
inalienable
Words
rights
down.
that everyone deserves
girl,
a chance
baby girl.
that
Oh, really?
even when we don't agree with each other, we can find a way to live with each other. That's Kamala's vision. That's Tim's vision. That's the Democratic Party's vision. And our job over the next 11 weeks is to convince as many people as possible to vote for that vision. Now, it won't be easy. The other side knows.
So
it's easier to play on people's fears and cynicism, always has been. They will tell you that government is inherently corrupt, that sacrifice and generosity are for suckers.
Go ahead, talk about Project 2025.
Since the game is rigged, it's okay to take what you want and just look after your own. That's the easy path. We have a different task. Our job is to convince people that democracy can actually deliver.
I'm gonna go get something to eat.
And in doing that, we can't just point to what we've already accomplished. You can't just rely on the ideas of the past. We need to chart a new way forward to meet the challenges of today. And Kamala understands this. She knows, for example, that if we want to make it easier for more young people to buy a home, we need to build more units and clear away some of the outdated laws and regulations that made it harder to build homes for working people in this country. That is a priority. And she's put out a bold new plan to do just that.
Y'all hearing?
On healthcare, we should all be proud of the enormous progress that we've made through the Affordable Care Act.
That thing again?
Providing millions of people access to affordable coverage, protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices. And I've noticed, by the way, that since it's become popular, they don't call it Obamacare no more.
He's so hurt.
But Kamala knows we can't stop there, which is why she'll keep working to limit out-of-pocket costs.
You a damn lie.
Kamala knows that if we want to help people get ahead, we need to put a college degree within reach of more Americans. But she also knows college shouldn't be the only ticket to the middle class. We need to follow the lead of governors like Tim Walz, who said, if you've got the skills and the drive, you shouldn't need a degree to work for state government. And in this new economy, we need a president who actually cares about the millions of people all across this country who wake up every single day to do the essential, often thankless work. To care for our sick, to clean our streets, to deliver our packages. We need a president who will stand up for their right to bargain for better wages and working conditions.
Why is he yelling?
And Kamala will be that president.
No, she won't. You a damn lie.
Yes, she can.
No, she can't.
Yes, she can. A Harris-Walz administration can help us move past some of the tired old debates that keep stifling progress.
Oh, Lord.
Because at their core, Kamala and Tim understand that when everybody gets a fair shot, we are all better off. They understand that when every child gets a good education, the whole economy gets stronger.
You a damn lie.
When women are paid the same as men for doing the same job, all families benefit.
How's he sitting up here telling this lie?
They understand that we can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents. Just like we can keep our streets safe while also building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve and eliminating bias. That will make it better for everybody.
Well, now he advocating for them cops. Get some.
Donald Trump and his well-heeled donors, they don't see the world that way. For them, one group's gains is necessarily another group's loss. For them, freedom means that the powerful can do pretty much what they please. Whether it's fire workers trying to organize a union or
that's you.
Put poison in our rivers or avoid paying taxes like everybody else has to do. Well, we have a broader idea of freedom. We believe in the freedom to provide for your family if you're willing to work hard. The freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water and send your kids to school without worrying if they'll come home. We believe that true freedom gives each of us the right to make decisions about our own life, how we worship, what our family looks like, how many kids we have, who we marry. And we believe that freedom requires us to recognize that other people have the freedom to make choices that are different than ours. That's okay.
Who's we?
That's the America Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believe in.
No, they don't.
An America where we, the people, includes everyone. Because that's the only way this American experiment works. And despite what our politics might suggest, I think most Americans understand that. Democracy isn't just a bunch of abstract principles and dusty laws in some book somewhere. It's the values we live by. It's the way we treat each other, including those who don't look like us, or pray like us, or see the world exactly like we do. That sense of mutual respect has to be part of our message. Our politics have become so polarized these days that all of us across the political spectrum seem so quick to assume the worst in others, unless they agree with us on every single issue. We start thinking that the only way to win is to scold and shame and out-yell the other side.
Yeah, I've been doing that for years.
And after a while, regular folks just tune out. Or they don't bother to vote.
Yeah, that's where we at.
Now that approach may work for the politicians who just want attention and thrive on division. But it won't work for us.
Who's us?
To make progress on the things we care about. The things that really affect people's lives. We need to remember that we've all got our blind spots and contradictions and prejudices. And that if we want to win over those who aren't yet ready to support our candidates, we need to listen to their concerns and maybe learn something in the process.
Yeah, shut up and listen.
After all, if a parent or grandparent occasionally says something that makes us cringe, we don't automatically assume they're bad people. We recognize that the world is moving fast, that they need time and maybe a little encouragement to catch up. Our fellow citizens deserve the same grace we hope they'll extend to us.
Dude, we gave you 4 years.
That's how we can build a true democratic majority. One that can get things done. And by the way, That does not just matter to the people in this country. The rest of the world is watching to see if we can actually pull this off.
But never mind, I can't say it because I'll get in trouble.
No nation, no society has ever tried to build a democracy as big and as diverse as ours before. One that includes people that over decades have come from every corner of the globe. One where our allegiances and our community are defined not by race or blood, but by a common creed.
What is that?
And that's why when we uphold our values, the world's a little brighter. When we don't, the world's a little
that's me
dimmer.
playing that music.
And dictators and autocrats feel emboldened. And over time, we become less safe.
Well, if you don't.
We shouldn't be the world's policemen, and we can't eradicate every cruelty and injustice in the world.
You damn sure try.
But America can be and must be a force for good. Discouraging conflict, fighting disease, promoting human rights, protecting the planet from climate change, defending freedom, brokering peace. That's what Kamala Harris believes, and so do most Americans.
Who they? We just assuming. You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
I know these ideas
He's struggling.
Can feel pretty naive right now. We live in a time of such confusion and rancor.
You started it.
With a culture that puts a premium on things that don't last. Money, fame,
power and respect,
status, likes. We chase the approval of strangers on our phones. We build all manner of walls and fences around ourselves, and then we wonder why we feel so alone. We don't trust each other as much because we don't take the time to know each other. And in that space between us,
who started that?
Politicians and algorithms teach us to caricature each other.
Yes, sir.
Control each other.
That's the realest thing you said all
and fear
night.
each other. But here's the good news, Chicago.
What's that?
All across America,
Uh-huh.
in big cities and small towns,
Mm-hmm.
away from all the noise,
Mm-hmm.
the ties that bind us together are still there.
Mm.
We still coach Little League and look out for our elderly neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
We still feed the hungry in churches and mosques and synagogues and temples. We share the same pride when our Olympic athletes compete for the gold. Because the vast majority of us do not want to live in a country that's bitter and divided.
Obama is a Mac Daddy.
We want something better. We want to be better. And the joy and the excitement that we're seeing around this campaign tells us we're not alone. You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this these past few months because, as Michelle mentioned, this summer we lost her mom, Ms. Marion Robinson. And I don't know that anybody has ever loved their mother-in-law any more than I love mine. Mostly it's because she was funny and wise and the least pretentious person I knew. That, and she always defended me with Michelle when I messed up. I'd hide behind her.
Bruh.
But I also think one of the reasons Mary and I became so close was she reminded me of my grandmother, the woman who helped raise me as a child. And on the surface, the two of them did not have a lot in common. One was a black woman from right here, south side of Chicago, right down the way.
I bet you won't
Went
walk
to Englewood High
outside.
School. The other was a little old white lady born in a tiny town called Peru, Kansas.
Yo mama.
Now, I know there aren't that many people from Peru.
I thought he said
And yet
Pyru
they
for a minute.
shared a basic outlook on life. They were strong, smart, resourceful women, full of common sense, who, regardless of the barriers they encountered, and women growing up in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they encountered barriers. They still went about their business without fuss or complaint and provided an unshakable foundation of love for their children and their grandchildren. In that sense, they both represented an entire generation of working people who, through war and depression, discrimination and limited opportunity, helped build this country.
I gotta pull the seat back again, fam.
A lot that were often too small for them and didn't pay a lot.
I'm gonna go see what's on next.
They willingly went without just to keep a roof over their families' heads, just to give their children something better. But they knew what was true. They knew what mattered. Things like honesty and integrity, kindness and hard work. They weren't impressed with braggarts or bullies. They didn't think putting other people down lifted you up or made you strong. They didn't
go on exit troll real
spend
quick.
a lot of time obsessing about what
That's
they
the first
didn't
post
have.
I saw.
Instead, they appreciated what they did. They found pleasure in simple things. A card game with friends, a good meal, and laughter around the kitchen table.
Let me show you. Look.
Helping others. And most of all, seeing their children do things and go places that they would have never imagined for themselves. Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican or somewhere in between, we have all had people like that in our lives. People like Kamala's parents, who crossed oceans because they believed in the promise of America. People like Tim's parents, who taught him about the importance of service. Good, hard-working people who weren't famous or powerful, but who managed in countless ways to leave this country just a little bit better than they found it. As much as any policy or program, I believe that's what we yearn for. A return to an America where we work together and look out for each other. A restoration of what Lincoln called, on the eve of civil war, our bonds of affection. An America that taps what he called the better angels of our nature. That is what this election is about. And I believe that's why, if we each do our part over the next 77 days, if we knock on doors, if we make phone calls, if we talk to our friends, if we listen to our neighbors, if we work like we've never worked before, if we hold firm to our convictions, we will elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States, and Tim Walz as the next vice president of the United States. We will elect leaders up and down the ballot who will fight for the hopeful, forward-looking America we all believe in. And together, we too will build a country that is more secure and more just, more equal, and more free. So let's get to work. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Is he finally done? Thank God. Thank the Lord. He's finally done.
Obama is a Mac Daddy.
Oh, Lord. All right. Since I didn't do it last night, I'll give y'all an opportunity. If you don't, I'm going to log off and wait for this food to come. My God, what did we just watch? Oh, by the way, they're saying for the delegation of Georgia, they use Lil Jon. So Lil Jon's on the list. Unbelievable what we just watched. Nasty work. Let me go look at that poll real fast. I know y'all violated. I'm gonna go look. Let me look. It says, damn, 85% of y'all weren't excited to hear the Obamas. Oh, that's all right. Nasty work. Hey, they're bringing Love is Blind down to Atlanta. William Moran, that's a very good question.
Obama is a Mac Daddy.
Wow. An alleged Sinaloa cartel member filed suit against Diddy and claims Puff ruined his drug business after trying to arrange for underage children to be brought to one of his parties. A judge dismissed the suit because the cartel member's business is not a legally protected interest. Well, there's that. They said Matt Walsh infiltrated the DNC. Oh, that's funny. Conservatives, I need y'all to get activated. Now that I'm thinking about it, how much you want to bet they're going to bring out old Kuntanji probably tomorrow or Thursday? It did look like him, right? So y'all happy that Tim Allen's reading the Bible? Okay. Nasty work. Okay, I guess none of y'all. Matthew McConaughey, shit. I don't know. He said about a week ago, he said he's still mulling a run for political office. Why not? This is a nasty word. DSB, you out of line, by the way. Nasty work. Let me tell you something. If I see Matthew McConaughey on that DNC stage the next 2 days, I expect my Cash App to be flowing. I expect it. Like, real talk. See? Since y'all are gonna tell me I'm lying, look. This was July 13th. The Troubleman twins are in the building. The Troubleman twins are in the building. Wasn't that funny? Wasn't that beautiful? Focus, you son of a bitch. Focus. 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 There you go. I think it was nasty work. All right. I'm going to go. I'm just going to go wait for this food. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I've done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. Let me see what they talking about. They bring out old Joy Reid. Oh, they leaving? All right, everybody left. They got the hell up out of there, family. Look at this. Look, them folk got the hell up out of there. They cleared out hella quick on that side. They said, let me go to the bathroom. Let me get on these trains. Listen, shout out to Beyonce in the CD. I don't want to hear her speak. I really don't. She's not going to say nothing of note. I better not see Jay-Z on there. Matter of fact, we could look up who's going to be on there tomorrow. Let's see. DNC Night 3. Let me see. Who did y'all trot up? Ooh, Democratic National Convention hits 20 million viewers on first night. And Obama was sitting there just talking about some hits online. All right. Let's see. Wednesday, a fight for our freedoms. Tim Walsh, Nancy Pelosi, Pete Buttigieg. So far, okay. I guess Hakeem Jeffries is probably going to talk tomorrow or Thursday. Former President Jimmy Carter's grandson. Oh, he spoke on Tuesday. Okay. Tuesday's full list. Where's Wednesday's full list? You got Monday. Damn you. Where's... come on, Axios. Y'all know who talking. Just say who it is. Jesus Christ. I kind of want to know. What day is this? Oh, okay, let's see. Maybe their site will tell us. Dempalooza. That's what it said. Evening. Night 3 Gavilan main programming. Let's see. More event information. Let's see. No, I'm not giving you money. Okay, they don't tell you. All right. Yes, Buttigieg is going to talk tomorrow. And I'm sure that's going to be fun. I wonder if they're going to let Wes Moore talk. You might as well let all the Jamaicans talk. I would have said Sheila Jackson Lee, but, she passed on. All right, family. I'm gonna go wait on this food. So, like I said, hopefully you learned something. If you did, I've done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. I'm off tomorrow, so we'll stream that again. We'll have fun. But until then, take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Obama is a Mac Daddy. Obama pimps white women and black women. He got started. You didn't notice him till he brought out those big-chested white women with their tight T-shirts and their short pants. That's what a pimp does. Oh, come on. You don't get your campaign started with a big-chested white woman. She must be a 54D, double D, and a pair of shorts on. That's what started his campaign. He put his name on 2 big 54Ds. He's a Mac Daddy. He pimps white women and black women. Obama is a long-legged Mac Daddy.
Wait around. Yep. Mark, yeet, and get out.
Time's up.
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
At the end of the day got to end.
And that's it.